will issue an oral ruling. Defense counsel for Mr. Ruto had presented a request to the chamber dated the 16th of December 2013, and by a subsequent filing of the 14th of January 2014, they added further request modifying the earlier one. The purpose of both filings is to request the excusal of Mr. Ruto from continuous presence at trial pursuant to the new rule adopted by the Assembly of States Parties, Rule 134 Quarter. The prosecution and the victims' counsel oppose the main request as insufficiently motivated. The prosecution and victims' counsel take no issue as to the addendum request. Counsel for Mr. Sang did not file a written submission, but in his oral submission supported the request by the Ruto defense and made it clear that Mr. Sang does not consider that he's being discriminated against if the request was granted to Mr. Ruto. The chamber has considered the request. The chamber hereby conditionally excuses Mr. Ruto from continuous presence at trial on the following conditions. As indicated in the new Rule 134, including quarter, a waiver must be filed. That's one condition. The further conditions are these. Mr. Ruto must be physically present in the courtroom for the following hearings. 1, the entirety of the closing statements of all parties and participants in the case. 2, when victims present their views and concerns in person. 3, the entirety of the delivery of the judgment in the case. 4, the entirety of the sentencing hearing, if applicable. 5, the entirety of the sentencing, if applicable. 6, the entirety of the victim impact hearings, if applicable. 7, the entirety of the reparation hearings, if applicable. 7, the first 5 days of hearing, starting after a judicial recess as set out in Regulation 19 bis of the regulations of the court, and 9, any other attendance directed by the chamber either proprio motu or at the request of a party or participant as decided by the chamber. The chamber considers that the attendance of Mr. Ruto pursuant to the requirement indicated in condition number 8, being attendance at first 5 days of hearing starting after a judicial recess, will require him to be present for today's hearing and the next, starting tomorrow and the next 5 days. However, in view of the need for Mr. Ruto to deputize for the President of the Republic of Kenya during his absence from the country from the 16th of January 2014, Mr. Ruto is excused from presence at trial on the 16th and the 17th of January 2014. Mr. Ruto shall, however, be present for the remainder of the period indicated under condition number 8. The fuller reasons for the oral decision will be issued in due course.